Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, call me the Dream Believer, 'cause that's who I am. Welcome back to another episode of Hoshizora, Wish Upon a Shooting Star. I forgot where we are right now, but he's remembering something or so like that. Or he's thinking about the conversation with Asuo-san. Not sure. Let's just get into the game. Well, it is just some measly urban legend in the first place, so I am obviously not going to take it at face value anyway. If that Green Reaper really is referring to Mare, oh, it's about the Green Reaper. Okay. However, does that mean those who meet her are torn apart from the one they love? Since I've already met her several times, does that mean I've been torn apart from someone I was in love with? I've forgotten the lookout girl's name due to Mare. So does it mean that is the result of tearing us apart? Yu-chan's gone into thinking mode. Did that also happen frequently back in elementary school? I would say that describes how he was in the majority of time. However, the reason that I can't meet the lookout girl isn't necessarily Mare's fault. Even if I hadn't met Mare, chances are my probability of seeing her again would have remained slim all the same. Since if the lookout girl did leave Hibarigasaki like I think she did, even remembering her name wouldn't put me in any better of position. And above all, the fact is I'm not in love with her. Well, guess I'll come back to that later. Later. Welcome back, Yo-chan. Damn, she said that cute. What is she talking about? Kugasaka-san, since you have come to the library, does it mean you are looking for some books in particular? Right, I would appreciate it if you could help me with that again. Books concerning memory loss? No, I'm thinking some different ones this time. And what sort of books will those be? I then explained to her what I've come here for. I want to learn about hallucinations. For example, if a person ever stumbled across a ghost or alien in real life, I imagine the gut reaction would be disbelief. Usually you would ask yourself if you were just hallucinating or if you were just exhausted. Stuff like that, rather than taking it as fact. I'm no exception to that. I'm also questioning whether or not Mare is just a figment of my imagination. I've witnessed Mare doing things several times that should be impossible by any standard of logic. Stuff like disappearing in front of me or stabbing my chest with her teeth. My mind isn't imaginative and flexible enough to just readily accept it as reality. Does Mare really exist? If she is indeed a hallucination, then why am I hallucinating in the first place? These are the two most important points. Together with feelings of appreciation towards her, I opened the book Kusumi-san got me. Just like when I researched into memory loss, for the time being, I only go through the topics that catch my interest. When it comes to what situation causes people to hallucinate, there are multiple such possibilities. The most common ones being drug usage, stress, alcohol, mental illness, fever, severe blood loss, severe blood loss, and dysfunction of the brain due to receiving a heavy impact to the head. It looks like a wide variety of causes at first, but they actually all share something in common with each other, which is that ultimately they each lead to an abnormal secretion of dopamine and endorphins, which then brings about the hallucination. Apparently, when that occurs, people enter into a state that closely resembles that of when they are asleep, called Memoria state. Dreams often carry messages that you aren't consciously able to perceive and let you go through mysterious experiences. That is because the limiter on perceptive information deactivates, rendering the brain unable to restrict and control the information you perceive from your surroundings and memories. As a result, it would seem that in some cases your current feelings or past memories too can manifest in the form of a hallucination. So, if I assume mere to be a hallucination, that means all this time I've been having what is essentially the equivalent of a dream. Maybe I've simply been projecting my memories with the lookout girl onto the canvas of reality, which then manifests as mere. She might be a Grim Reaper that is purely a product of my past. And anything worthwhile? Yeah, something rather unpleasant. In psychology, there is a term, self-defense mechanism. When a person receives a stimuli that may prove mentally damaging, the brain subconsciously attempts to find a way that upholds one's well-being and chooses certain methods to meet that end. That contrivance of our mind is generally what is referred to as a self-defense mechanism. Take, for instance, when you can't get a good score on an exam despite putting in hours of study, you then naturally try to justify the outcome through any way possible. That is what we refer to as rationalization. Besides that, we can also look at a situation like when your school defeats another school in a sports match, and you then boast about it, as if you were the one who was down there playing the game. That is what we call identification. Yet another example is the way in which people often tease the person they have a crush on. That is referred to as a reaction formation. The point is, if my theory actually does prove true, that means I've been reliving my memories in order to satisfy this mental craving. Reliving, I guess, was it. It leads to quite the pitiful conclusion if, due to accumulated stress from not getting any leads on the lookout girl's whereabouts, I've conjured up a hallucination to relieve that stress. To make things worse, that actually explains why Mare is practically a mirror image of the lookout girl. Like what exactly? Also, I must have been bored while I was doing my research, but just waited for me the whole time nonetheless. Well, I got something out of it that I don't quite want to believe. Like what? Well, Yo-chan, what made you want to do research into hallucinations? Do I have the right to keep silent? You don't. I've waited this whole time for you, so I'm gonna get something. Aso-san, you're bothering Kogasaka-san. I'm just dying to know. Would like you to keep your voice down in the library. I'm sorry. Time-wise, it is practically evening already, as is standard curse for summer days, though it is still just as bright outside as it was during the daytime. I closed the open book in front of me. Thanks, Kusami-san. You were a great help. You're welcome. I'm just glad that I could help. I could be a help of you or something. I forgot. Asu, what about the cave? I mean, you said the cave, the cafe. I mean, you said you had to help out. Ah, crap! I actually totally forgot. I will better get going now. Actually. I'm going to close the library in just a bit too, so I will say we call it a day now. Chan, wanna go home together? I'm planning on swinging by the lookout, so I considered turning her down for a moment, but I ultimately decided against it. Sure, why not? Good man. I felt like Asu's mood will turn sour again if I say no. Heading to the lookout after dropping by the house first possess no problem. If I didn't have to help at our cafe, I would have totally dropped by the lookout before going home. Also walks on my right. She also sits to my right in the classroom, so it is almost like that's become her own reserved spot. It's really a shame. I wanted to see the stars together with you. Weekend's right around the corner, so there's no real need to rush it. There's no guarantee we will have clear weather then. We've got it today. Really seems slightly clouded actually. But it definitely won't rain. That what the weather forecast said? Yep, my personal weather forecast that is. So in other words, you are just throwing darts. Not at all. Asu passes me, then spins around to face me. Now that's cute, you know, when she passes you by, now then she turns. My rain alarm is more accurate than any weather forecast. She puffs up her chest in an expression of boast. What's this rain alarm? When rainfall's about to happen, I can hear. What? Before it actually rains, you mean? Yep. Like drip drop? Nope, more like zoom zoom. What kind of rain is that supposed to be? I told you it's an alarm that goes zoom zoom. Sounds like an airplane to me. Yeah, that might be the kind of sound it is. I can't really say though, since I've never been on a plane before. Asu moves to my right again. And as far as I know, I don't know if it's in Japanese only like that, but when you walk, for example, when you walk with a girl and you walk like their path, you see it like there, behind Asu is the street, and the man has, if you're a gentleman and if you want to do it good and to do it right, you have to walk close to on the side from the street, and she has to walk to the other side. And so in most cases it is you are walking to the left and she is walking by your side at the right, so that she isn't that close to the street. Now, since Hibarigasaki is in the north, the rainy season is relatively short to begin with, but this year it's been particularly... Since Hibarigasaki is in the north, the rainy season is relatively short to begin with, but this year it's been particularly dry. A rain alarm is on constant rest, and that rain alarm is accurate. Yep, it has an amazing 100% accuracy. She puffs up her chest yet again. Doing that really brings an emphasis to her breasts. So yeah, I really wish she wouldn't. It hasn't rained a single time since July started. Well, in that case, since your alarm isn't ringing, we'll have clear weather this weekend as well. I guess I'm looking forward to it. Shedding along the way makes the long hill road feel short. We've already reached the food. The food. I'll get to school early tomorrow and design a recruitment poster for the circle. It might help at least a little bit if we put those up at notice boards. I guess I'll design a recruitment flyer at home. You're gonna help with the recruitment, of course. But you said you would only try to win Aoi-san over. Just a joke. I'll also help out hunting for other members. Asu displays a carefree smile. So you're gonna design a flyer to hand out? Yeah, doing it in the mornings will be rough for me. So I'm thinking of heading to the school gate right after afternoon homeroom and handing the flyers out at all the students that head home. By doing it that way, I can focus my efforts almost entirely on the students that aren't part of any club or circle. Oh, you're really a smart thinker. I'll help you with that as well. Okay, see you tomorrow then. Bye. Also waves goodbye as she runs off in the direction of the shopping district. I suppose there isn't much time left until she has to start working. After she makes a turn on the road and disappears from my sight, I go through the front gate of our house. I'll head for the lookout right after dropping off my bag. I guess this will be the episode for the day, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna find out what he's thinking. Yeah, what Kogasaka what Kogasaka Yu is thinking in the next episode. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed, that was a really enjoyable conversation with the girls, to be honest, and it was Asu especially. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this as much as I did, or even more, like, share, subscribe, and don't leave anything out. Don't leave anything out. And you should watch some anime for me, and especially for you. You should watch Darling and Franks for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, or if you want me to recommend you some, it will be a pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy watching.